Hello and welcome to another episode of the International News Wrap, your premier destination for global updates, brought to you exclusively by One India. In today's segment, we present a diverse array of stories ranging from President Joe Biden's imminent signing of the Ukraine aid package to Israel's preparations for civilian evacuation in Rafah. Join us as we delve into the day's most significant international developments, ensuring you stay abreast of the latest events unfolding worldwide. On Wednesday, President Joe Biden will sign a landmark bill into law, allocating billions of dollars in fresh aid to Ukraine for its ongoing conflict with Russia. This bipartisan achievement not only serves as a victory for the president as he eyes re-election, but also provides crucial support to allies relying on Washington's backing for Kyiv. Biden, a Democrat, poised to potentially face off against Republican former President Donald Trump in the November election, has tirelessly advocated for increased funding for Ukraine over the past 6 months. Despite facing opposition predominantly from Republicans closely aligned with Trump, bipartisan consensus ultimately prevailed. The turning point came when the Republican-controlled House of Representatives unexpectedly shifted course, greenlighting 4 bills that included funding not only for Ukraine, but also for Israel, Taiwan, and other key US partners in the Indo-Pacific region. Throughout the process, Biden engaged in fervent discussions about Ukraine with House Speaker Mike Johnson, expressing the urgency of supporting the embattled nation. Despite facing criticism from some within his own party, Johnson's decisive action garnered praise, including from Trump himself, who commended Johnson's leadership during a recent meeting in Florida. This significant legislative milestone underscores the unwavering commitment of the US to stand alongside Ukraine in its struggle against Russian aggression. Israel has procured tens of thousands of tents for Palestinian civilians it intends to evacuate from Rafah in the coming weeks ahead of a promised assault on the city it sees as the last bastion of Hamas in the Gaza Strip, Israeli sources said on Wednesday. Abutting the Egyptian border, Rafah's population has been swollen by more than 1 million Palestinians who fled the half-year-old Israeli offensive through the rest of Gaza. Their fate worries Western powers as well as Cairo, which has ruled out any influx of refugees into the Egyptian Sinai. After weeks of talks with the United States about civilian safeguards, Israel's defense ministry has bought 40,000 tents, each with a capacity for 10 to 12 people, for Palestinians relocated from Rafah, Israeli government sources said. Video circulated online appeared to show rows of square white tents going up in Khan Yunis, a city some 5 km from Rafah. Israel's defense ministry declined all comments. The government sources said Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's war cabinet planned to meet in the coming 2 weeks to authorize civilian evacuations, expected to take around a month, as the first stage of the Rafah sweep. Netanyahu's office had no immediate comment. While not discussing specific battle plans, the Israeli military has increasingly signaled readiness to move on Rafah. On Wednesday, drones dispatched by Ukraine's SBU security service reportedly carried out strikes on 2 oil depots owned by Rosneft in Russia's Smolensk region, as revealed by a Ukrainian intelligence source. The source disclosed that the depots stored 26,000 cubic meters of fuel, and the attack resulted in significant fires, prompting the evacuation of personnel. The SBU continues to effectively dismantle military infrastructure and logistics channels that supply fuel to the Russian army in Ukraine, the source asserted. These facilities are and will remain our entirely legitimate targets. Earlier statements from Russian regional authorities confirmed fires erupting at the site following the drone assault. Concurrently, emergency services responded to the incidents, with some residents evacuated from parts of Lipetsk in Russia's southwest after a drone crashed in an industrial park. Fortunately, there were no reported casualties in the attack, according to Vasily Anokhin, governor of the Smolensk region, via a statement on the Telegram messaging app. With Russia's invasion of Ukraine now in its 3rd year, Ukraine has increasingly focused on targeting Russian oil and energy infrastructure using long-range drones. Despite calls from allies to cease such strikes to mitigate Russian retaliation and global oil price surges, Kyiv regards oil refineries as legitimate targets. As of the end of March, Ukrainian drone attacks had reportedly knocked out around 14% of Russia's primary oil refining capacity, according to calculations by Reuters. A Russian court issued a detention order for one of Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu's deputies on Wednesday, marking the highest profile corruption case since President Vladimir Putin deployed troops into Ukraine in 2022. Deputy Defense Minister Timur Ivanov was apprehended on Tuesday at his workplace by the Federal Security Service, that is FSB, on charges of accepting significant bribes. The Moscow Basmany District Court ruled that Ivanov be held in custody until June 23. Footage released by the court service depicted Ivanov, 48, dressed in uniform and standing in a glass enclosure with a slight frown. According to the court service, the investigation alleges that Ivanov conspired with third parties and orchestrated an organized crime scheme to receive substantial property and services during contract and subcontract work for the Ministry of Defense. Ivanov, maintaining his innocence, faces up to 15 years in prison if convicted. State media extensively covered the case, drawing attention to the sudden arrest of a close associate of Shoigu, who was tasked by Putin to oversee the conflict in Ukraine. This event sparked speculation about internal power struggles within the elite circles and raised hopes of a public crackdown on the corruption that has long plagued Russia's armed forces since the Soviet era. The arrest of Ivanov, often associated with the conspicuous display of wealth that Putin has sought to discourage during wartime, was met with some celebration by Russian bloggers critical of senior military officials' perceived incompetence. The Kremlin confirmed that Putin and Shoigu were informed of the situation, while the defense ministry refrained from commenting. Additionally, Sergei Borodin, a close friend of Ivanov, was also charged with conspiracy to accept bribes. On Tuesday, the US issued a stern warning to Pakistan, cautioning of the potential risk of sanctions and affirming its commitment to disrupting and taking action against proliferation networks engaged in business dealings with Iran. Vedant Patel, the US State Department Principal Deputy Spokesperson, highlighted previous sanctions imposed on suppliers to Pakistan's ballistic missile program, emphasizing the cross-border strategy of targeting proliferation networks and weapons of mass destruction procurement activities worldwide. When questioned about the rationale behind these sanctions, Patel reiterated that they were imposed due to the entity's involvement in the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction and their delivery systems. Furthermore, Patel advised against entering into business deals with Iran, urging caution in light of the potential risk of sanctions. The warning comes in the aftermath of Iranian President Raisi's 3-day visit to Pakistan, during which 8 bilateral agreements were signed between the two countries. Patel hinted at the possibility that these burgeoning relations could be imperiled by sanctions, given Iran's status within the international community. The discussions during President Raisi's visit, led by Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and attended by President Raisi, underscored a shared commitment to enhancing political, economic, trade and cultural ties between Pakistan and Iran, as reported by Sama. Thank you for joining us on the International News Wrap. Stay tuned for more episodes.